Longtemps qu'il a longté, n'en est la chose. Quand on te fait gabin quand il soit du lait, à mon ballon la tombe du corps.
The village of Ichar is one of the biggest villages in the Lungnak Valley of Zanskar. It is a beautiful village, a peaceful village, and the home of my friend Lama Dawa from the Puktar monastery. Lama Dawa was the Kempo or the head Lama at Puktar when I visited there a few years back. He was Kempo for 3 years, after which he moved to Ichar for a period of another 3 years to take care of the spiritual needs of the village. This is Lama Dawa's last year at Ichar and a perfect time for me to visit him and learn more about this interesting village.
ये फूतल से उधर से ये शुपा
ओ शुक्पा है
ये शुपा है बताइए ये शुपा
ओ ठीक है
शुपा वाला है
हाँ हाँ हाँ
ये सर सिर्फ ये कहाँ से ये कैन वाला ये अनमु से लाया हुआ
अनमो से ओ
इधर बिल्कुल ये वो जंगल नहीं है जगह बिल्कुल नहीं है
शुक्पा इतना बड़ा होता है
बड़ा होता है
शुक्पा उसे ऐसे ऐसे होता
होता है
है
वो बराबर किसी भी है होता है
तिचिप
उसमें
ओ तिचिप शुन में हाँ
ऐसे कर रहा था ये टूपी ऐसे ऐसे ले होता
शुक्पा इतना बड़ा है
बड़ा बड़ा
अभी तो नहीं होगा अभी तो
अभी है।
कट अभी भी है
है किसी में है
तिचिप में
नहीं एक पर किया
हाँ हाँ हाँ
Longtemps qu'il a longté, n'en est la chose.
The region surrounding Ichar is notorious for its snow leopards. I had just spotted my first snow leopard a few weeks back while driving to Zanskar, so I was still riding that high and hoped to spot a few more snow leopards during this trip in Zanskar, and Ichar seemed to be the best place to go wandering about looking for the snow leopards. I started my search in the valley above Garashisha, a tiny hamlet of just one house a few kilometers down the road from Ichar. I wandered around the valley above Garashisha. The valley was very narrow initially, with a lot of caves and cliffs. The narrow confines of the valley was a good place to spot a snow leopard, but after a couple of hours of walking, the valley opened up, and I knew that it would be very hard to spot a snow leopard in that open vastness. So I returned back to the narrow part of the valley and camped there for a couple of nights, scanning the ridgelines and listening for sounds of the snow leopard.
There is a cave over there, a big one. So what the villagers told me was that there is a mother and 2 cubs somewhere in a cave above Garashisha. So that could be a candidate. I don't know. It's good. It's very exciting. Even if I don't spot a snow leopard, it's just being here and the thrill of maybe like being very close to seeing one is it's very exciting. So I'll just find a place where I can sleep tonight. I don't need a tent, but still I'll find a place where I can relax and sit somewhere hidden so that I can like just keep watching the slopes, watching the ridge lines, watching the cave, and maybe if I'm lucky, I'm very, very lucky, then I can spot one. So this is where I'm sleeping, and these are the trees around me, so I'm quite hidden, and I'm looking at the ridge, and the caves are on the opposite side. It's 5:30 a.m. now, and I've been up maybe the last half hour once the light came out. Just like looking at the ridges, looking at the caves, hoping to see something, but no, as expected. But I can hear some sounds. First it was the jungle cock crowing, but now it's a different sound, something like I don't know what that sound is.
Once, while scanning a ridge, I spotted something that looked like a snow leopard. Excited, I took my camera and zoomed in to take a closer look, but to my disappointment, it was only a rock. shaped perfectly like a snow leopard though, as if it was sitting on top and surveying the landscape. After a couple of days at Garashisha, I returned back to Vichar and went camping in the open fields above the village. The fields were located on top of some steep cliffs high above the Lungnak river. It was a hard climb, but a short one. And just before the top of the climb, there was a beautiful little hermitage surrounded by trees and a spring nearby. I stopped there for a short break and filled up my water bottle and even my pressure cooker, as there would be no other water sources above this point. A short scramble above some rocks led me to the open fields of Vichar. I had seen these fields from the opposite side of the valley while shooting a time-lapse video of the village. It was a vast open area full of fields. I expected the fields to be cultivated, but was shocked to see that none of the fields, not a single one, was cultivated. They were all abandoned and looked to be abandoned a long time ago. I had pitched my tent near an old house which had fallen down and spent the next couple of days camping amidst the abandoned fields of Vichar. I would spend my time walking around the area, wondering why these fields were abandoned, and my gaze would always turn towards the cliffs above me, hoping against hope to spot a snow leopard wandering amidst the rocks. But more interesting than the snow leopards was the abandoned fields. Because I've seen abandoned fields in many villages before, but it was such a huge area, like totally abandoned. And I talked to the villagers also about the reasons. One of the reasons obviously is the water. With the changing climate, they're getting less and less water. But still, I feel that they have enough water if they want to irrigate those fields. But the canals leading to the fields were like blocked with like falling stones, and the villagers didn't bother to repair the canals. So that's what they told me, that if they spend a few days repairing the canals, then they will get water to the fields. So the biggest reason now is the changing lifestyles of the people, changing attitudes towards farming. So barley is what they traditionally sow in all these fields, but now people prefer to eat rice and dal at their homes, and they get it in the ration provided by the government. So kind of the usage of barley for food has reduced a lot. Maybe they eat it for breakfast or maybe in the Tukpa in the evenings, but it has reduced a lot compared to what they used to eat before. So that is one of the reasons why they don't need to plant as much barley as before. So and another reason what the villagers told me is most of the villagers these days go to work laying the roads in the Lungnak Valley. They go work in the BRO. So they make like 25,000 a month, and it's much more money for a family to work in the construction of the roads than what they'll make from planting barley in their fields. But still, with the road coming up, I feel that it will be good for them, because once the road is made good and they have frequent transportation, they can grow peas in all the fields. Because we have seen in Spiti, the life of the people have changed a lot drastically after they have started planting peas, and they get very good income from their fields. And I think the same thing will happen here, assuming the water sources are still there, and assuming that the villages have enough water to irrigate the fields. I think in a few years we'll see them planting a lot of peas around Zanskar, and hopefully the people will make good income through the pea fields. So yeah, I didn't spot any snow leopard, and I think it's time for me to go back to Padam and then try to go to Leh. Maybe I'll spend a few days in Rangdam on the way and go to Leh, then yeah, and see what to do from there.